As we all know, I've got to check if we're in and on and over here before we begin. So it appears to be in with the hum. Yes! Biddly 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 bar. Yes, yes, yeah. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. Before we even begin to move, you know what time it is. We've got to get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The underlap is here yet again. I don't know how many Thursdays we've got to this on the bounce, but it's becoming an actual fixture. It's becoming part of my actual working life, I think. I look forward to my Thursdays. Then when we creep a game in between, it's like biddly, 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 but yes, yes, yeah. Got a quick shout out to do. Did anybody notice on Leeds United's live today of their what do you call it? The press conference. Did you notice that? I don't know if they're still live now, to be fair, but they were live for like 2 hours after the actual press conference had finished. It was well funny. So I clicked on it. I thought, what's going on here? Yeah, they're still live, guys. So you can actually go and check it, which obviously will mean you're leaving my video, but it is what it is. Nobody do it how he does it. They're still live. This will never end. Somebody's losing their job in the morning. But, yeah, so everybody keeps commenting, because obviously everybody keeps clicking on it. Because I clicked on there and said, so glad that I've caught this live, which is obviously not funny, but in my mind it sort of was. But yeah, I want to do a quick shout out to Big Rick, who I bumped into within the live 3 hours later. So shout out to Big Rick, and it's his daughter's birthday tomorrow, who is called Tiana, which I'm hoping I've pronounced that right for you, dude. But I will, on my video tomorrow, you'll get a shout out tomorrow on that as well. But yeah, on the quick shit vid, which is a more appropriate place to put it, so it's easier to find. Although having said that, I've done it right at the start of this, so who knows what we're talking about? Nobody cares, do they? Well, I care about the shout outs, certainly not the shout out I'm discussing. But yeah, shout out to Tiana. Happy birthday for tomorrow. But yeah, they've been live for now. We're getting on for 4 hours, so 53 people are still watching it, which is pretty mint, including me. But I was thinking, you know, yeah, it's good lad. Get him. Arse Ripper's just gone over there and give me an A up. It's too much. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it made me think, you know, because like the watch time will be absolutely immense on this. Yes. The watch time will be mental on this because they've been going for, you know, 4 hours. I've been on there. Everybody's going back and watching the press conference, obviously, at the time. But once you stop the recording, you know, maybe it's worth staying live like all day and just letting everybody jump back in. Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody will never know. We've got plenty to talk about, really, because obviously the game yesterday, I went live. But before we do that, there's a quandary I've got here. So we're still on the Budweisers, boys, but we've got some that are ice cold, but I've had to go to the shop. And we've got some that have been in about 50 minutes. So do you sacrifice the ice cold now? So do you go ice cold now so that it's ice cold and crisp? Or do you go the slightly warmer ones, even though it won't, then you'll lose the crispness of the ice ones later on? So once I've had there's two not cold and the rest are ice cold. So do you go, because there's still a bit of a chill to it. I don't even put my hand right round it. Don't even wrap my hand round the girth of it because I don't want it warming up. But do you go with that? I personally think, because I haven't got time to wait on a poll, but I personally think that you go with the slightly warmer ones first, so that the iced cold ones. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I'm talking myself out of it a bit. The ice cold ones are still gonna. Would you? Yeah. See, Oliver would go ice cold. I'm just thinking though. Ming says ice ice baby. Arse Ripper says never warm, but that's what I'm saying, Arse Ripper. Because some are chilled, but the others are ice cold. But the chilled ones will be warm by the time I get to them if I go with the... Well, there is that. We're going to go in freezer, Arse Ripper. But I didn't want to be running downstairs to get some more, so... Hardstyle Images says, got to be ice cold. I'm on the Guinness. This is not... We're not getting the point, guys. I appreciate the Guinness out the freezer without a shadow of a doubt. But this is not my point. My point is we have 2 chilled and we have 3 at the moment. The rest are in the fridge remaining to chill. 3 ice cold, like perfect to drink now. So do you go with the chilled ones to then get stuck into the iced cold ones? That's my quandary. I'm going to just make my own decision and go with the chilled ones. The legendary MVG already making it rain. Does that just mean you've upgraded there, the legendary MVG? You are the man. The man of the hour. Sakamoto says Solomon is slicker than the bathroom floor at a Diddy Freak Off. Happy to be proved wrong about the lad. Big Rick, no you don't, big lad. Not at all, mate. Not at all. Oi, oi. Bamford. Calling for Bamford back. Michael says Leeds are going up. Ole, ole. This team this year are dominant. Have been in cruise control in 90% of the games for months now. Never a threat of losing. Special season. I love this football club, as always. But I love this football team at the moment. I'm going to get off the Leeds United live stream because I feel as though I'm conning my way through it. I love this football team. I think we've come into find Fettel at the absolute perfect moment. I think we've proper got the gonads going now. We're well oiled. We look like we can... I mean, we haven't conceded a goal since God were allowed. I think it's 6 games or something we haven't conceded a goal. Do you know we've got the best goal difference that we've had in our history, I believe, after 31 games. It also obviously always helps when you're winning 7-0. But it's plus 43 after 31 games, which is the best in our history. And the best we've ever achieved in our history at the end of a full season is plus 49 in 1927. So, if we can get to that, and we will get to this because yesterday there was that many goals that we didn't receive due to the ref and the liner. I don't know what went on for that goal, but I don't know MVG about it. It's mad, isn't it? What AO said yesterday. It's crazy, is that? I'm not sure. I do have a Patreon, but I'm not here to make any money, so because that's just for my music channel, really. But normally people go through my Patreon with it, just in general when they want to support. But I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying, Patreon is better. But keep making it rain, brother. I don't mind either way. Love to see some changes this weekend. Give the starters some rest. Well, Faka said in his interview, didn't he, straight after the game, that he doesn't like to make wholesale changes, but he does. He did mention that there's probably 4 or 5 that are going to get changed. I think the whole front line will change. I think Aronson will definitely come out. I think Peru will come out. Joseph will go up top. Ramazani will start. Nonto will start. So I think all them lot will come out. I think Gilavergi will come in rather than getting his 40 seconds. It was a dilemma from Helming. That's what I was saying. Ripper says freeze for 10 minutes. I should have froze them up, yeah. But I wasn't thinking straight. They're not, they've been in 50 minutes. I thought that'd be enough. And the other 2 are from the old box. So they're the 3 are ice cold. This isn't even that bad. I've made more of it than it actually needs to be. Because these are quite nicely chilled. But, Budweiser's not nice at the best of times, is it? So you do want it ice baby, as it were. My man Jamie Tobin. Honestly, you boys are mental. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss anybody here. So Jamie Tobin. These all get shout outs in the next vid because it's honestly legendary. MVG. not MVP. I called him MVP the other day, which is... But, as I did yesterday, Jamie Tobin, you are a legend. You have handed out gifted memberships to Colin Tan, Anthony Callery, Lewis Monaghan, Ascar and Paul G, which is mental because I don't know if any of them have ever commented before. So this is what I mean. I've got a lot of people in the wings that never get stuck in, which is good. Well, not good, but it's also good, that it's just good, isn't it? It's good stuff. When it comes to the booze, it really was like, that's what I'm saying. It's, you've got the ice cold Ampadu Gruev, haven't you? And then you've got the... No. There's no comparison actually there. I was going to go with the warm. But my idea with that was, you've got the more attacking thoughts, and then you've got the ice cold. But they're not warm, and that seems worse in that scenario. But really, because we're a bit spoilt for choice in there, you'd like it to be... I mean, Ampadu and Rothwell, if that ended up being our two in there, would be ace. If it were Gruev and Tanaka, it'd be ace. If it were Gruev and Rothwell, it'd be ace. If it were Ampadu and Tanaka, it'd be ace. If it's Ampadu and Gruev, it's ace. If it's Rothwell and Tanaka, it's ace. But I do think the best partnership is probably Ampadu and Tanaka. But I just think that's really harsh on Rothwell. Because really, Ampadu and Rothwell have been minting there. And I do agree with, Tanaka and... Tanaka and Rothwell's a little bit forward thinking. I do like it when them two play, but I'm not going to the Millwall game. No, I don't know if I've answered that, dude. But no, I'm not. I'm not going on Saturday. It's early kick-off and I'm at work in the morning. I'll be back. I'll probably do a watch-along, to be fair. I will be back for the game, but I couldn't be arsed running about with it being a cup game. I thought I'm just knackered then by the time I get to half-time, I'm like... Oh, at work Friday night, then work Saturday morning, then work Saturday night. I'm dead. Treat it like... I don't know if you like Coke. I don't like Coke, but a can of Coke would be exactly the same, wouldn't it? So, you've got your chilled, and then but you wouldn't want sort of 5 cans of Coke, one after the other, I suppose. No Bamford, no barbecue. Did you see that stat? Same number of good chances as Sheffield United and Burnley combined. That doesn't surprise me. We had so many chances yesterday, didn't we? That's why my man Ming gives out the memberships, because of the 60% super chats taken off. It's crazy if that is right. Arthur's put Darlow, Struick, Byram, Schmidt, Joseph will play. Yeah, I agree. As well as I think it'll be wholesale. Really, I think he'll go. He will start by Darlow. He might go Byram right back, Struick left back, Schmidt left back, Struick in centre back. I think he might keep Ampadu in there. He might go Wobber though. He might just make alt changes. We've actually, when people are getting back from injury, we're actually really quite strong, aren't we? Wilco White says we had to play against Coventry and the officials yesterday and still won the game. I don't like moaning about the refs, do I, as I've spoke about before, but I have to say it was a joke yesterday. That Aronson penalty, I actually don't understand how, in any which way, how it can possibly not be a penalty, like genuinely. I don't know how it can't be a penalty. He literally comes flying through the back of him, sends him up into air. Aronson doesn't even know he's there as well, so it's not even like he's waiting on it, like he's anticipating the tackle or anything. It's just literally like it's pummeled up into air. It's a bad challenge, that. But it's not a bad challenge, but it's just dumb as fuck. He wipes him out. I want to talk about Lampard as well, because that's all kicking off, innit? Jamie sharing the love, Ming, he certainly does. Arthur says ref was a prick. He certainly was. Emmett says, what a week, 49 shots, 13 big chances, 9 goals, none conceded, 6 points, records broke, going back to the 1920s. Super Leeds. Love it, Emma Oliver. Love it. Yeah, 9 goals in 120 minutes it were at one point. We got robbed of a few goals yesterday. We got robbed of, I'd say, 2, because I think I think it gets squared to D James. Solomon wins the ball back, and then the liners give offside for Peru, I think it is. Peru, Paral, Parisley, and then Solomon actually ends up getting on the end of it. Peru actually gets out of the way of it. Liner sticks his flag up, Solomon squares it, and James taps it in. So that's a goal. We've got the Aronson penalty, which is honestly a nailed-on penalty. There is another penalty in there as well, but I'm not even bothered about discussing that one. The Aronson one is a penalty. And then the Gnonto goal, which I don't know what happened with that. It's like, you know, he's never in a million years is he offside anyway, Gnonto. The liner seems to take 2.5 days to decide it, didn't it? It's like he's still thinking about it now. He keeps waking up in cold sweats thinking about that offside. And then, I mean, to be fair, you know, they said in commentary, to be fair, the ref sort of let us off with it because they'd all 10 players apart from Mez. I know that's why I said 10, not 11. We'll talk about Mez as well. Ran over to celebrate. And then they took the fucking kick, didn't they? Because Liner would give offside. And then luckily, ref did say, obviously, no. But I don't know what the discussion is. It's either offside or it's not. I know Liner can sort of think about it, but, you know, he must know whether he thinks it is or not. I don't know what discussion the ref can be having. Very weird, but he wasn't offside anyway. Initially, I thought Firpo were really pissed off with Gnonto when Gnonto tapped it in. But having watched it back, because Firpo sort of throws his arms up a bit, like I think he wanted the goal. But having watched it back, it looked like, on first time for me, it looked like Firpo had squared it and Gnonto's tapped it in. Or just thumped it in for no reason, whereas it's actually come off the keeper and it actually just hits Gnonto and goes in. So it's not Gnonto's not really nicked the goal, but I thought he had, and then I thought Firpo had thrown his arms up. The only thing I would say is if the liner was like in sort of debate for what had actually happened, I felt like Firpo had helped the liner make a decision a little bit, because I think he were looking at it, made it seem as they were looking at Gnonto like, oh, you're offside, you dick slap, you know, it's not going to get given now. It sort of looked like that. But I don't think he was, because then when the liner put his flag up, Firpo went mental like they all did, to be fair. So yeah, what's that 5-0. They just didn't want another 7-0 on their hands, did they? That's what it is. They were scared at 7-0. Cheers, Jamie. Take it easy, dude. I appreciate you jumping in, man, and handing it out like it's Christmas, like you always do, brother. I proper appreciate you. Kragger, which is a good name, says, make some changes, but I want a cup run. Don't get it when people say they don't match them together. Kragger, I love it, mate. Absolutely love it. For the Lord of me, for the life of me, I don't understand why people don't want cup runs. What's not to love? I don't get it. I understand the thing like, no, promotion's the most important thing, and you see you're getting bogged down and just trying to win something, and I think about, it's like, no, just if you told truth, right? If we don't go up this year, and we're not going to win the FA Cup, but say for instance if we did, and I know we're not gonna, but if we got to a semi-final, or if we got to 2 more rounds in or whatever, that might be a semi-final, but whatever, and we beat Man U or something, and we drew Chelsea in Cup, and you know maybe get knocked out. You remember these times if we beat Man U, we're still talking about when Beckford scored a goal 150 years ago, you know, when we beat Man U. So these things do resonate. We will forget the year that we didn't go up. We've all forgot last year already, haven't we, apart from far creators. It's all forgotten anyway. You know, we went out to Chelsea in that, didn't we? Had we beat Chelsea in that, you know, we'd have gone through, you know, we'd have remembered that. I don't know, it's just like, you know, are you looking for memories, or are you just so drilled into... Because what I don't want to do when I'm old, I'm already old, but when I'm really old, I don't want to be looking back thinking like, you know, like when my kids say, if I have any, you know, have we not won Alt Dad for like since forever? I'll be like, well, no, because I were too focused on, not that it'd make a difference what I thought, but no, I always just wanted us to just focus on league, son, and not really worry about, you know, glory. Like, what, you didn't want to win? Like, you didn't want to go to Wembley and win a cup? Like, no, it never bothered me. I were always really fixated on, like, you know, we were top at league at time, and I just wanted us to get job done, you know, and then go finish 15th in Premier League. That's all I've ever wanted for the club. It's like, no, come on, Popper, let's go win something. I'd be like, no, I appreciate your youth and your enthusiasm, but no, I'd much rather just get knocked out at cup in first round to some shits. Silver Steve will know, no doubt about that. Lewis has thanked Jamie for the gift. I think Jamie's gone now, but still. A nice summary there from Arthur. Agreed. Penalty Took Aronson out. Goal onside. Love it. The Silver famous one. Anybody that won in the chat yesterday will not know who Silver Steve is, but he's really rich. A lot richer than all of us lot, even though he has no idea, just as I don't, what people earn in this chat. You know, you've no idea, Silver Steve, but he seems to think that he's definitely richer than everybody else, and he's famous. So we're doing our best to make him famous, even with only 45 people in the chat, but we're keeping his name alive. Emma Oliver here. I think I'm sensing a little bit of sarcasm here, but I didn't know we signed a new keeper in January. He's done amazing, worldly saves and great distribution. His distribution, I know I'm going to now take it away from the jokes. We are talking about Meslier, Silent S. His distribution's always been all right. It's just not that bad, his distribution. Everybody gets on about it and that. And then I don't know if you saw Darla want ball in FA Cup in last game. But, you know, he were giving it away. You know, he give it away in some harrowing positions, to be fair. A couple of, you know, once in particular, like straight into the centre park, where, you know, you do get, if you're not playing some shits like Harrogate, you get punished. So, but there were a lot of people calling for Meslier Silent S to be man at match yesterday, which is, you know, pretty mint shout. Like, I'm May for it. I wouldn't necessarily go to that extent, to be fair, with the man of the match. But the save, the Gordon Banks save, off digging it out off at line, is absolutely ace. What would have been mint about that is we went on a break, didn't we? And Solomon ended up actually having a chance, and it'd have been proper mint had he gone on and had we scored from that. Because luckily it was still in the extended highlights. But normally you get the saves sort of get brushed apart. But he made 2 excellent saves, and ultimately we only won 2-0. So, you know, because I think we got robbed of a few goals, but. Had he not, obviously, it'd have been 2-2. So in that, and also in terms of, like, you know, when you're 2-0 up, it's not. Everybody says it's a vulnerable scoreline. I don't know if it's a vulnerable scoreline. It's just obviously once it goes to 2-1, you start to have a wobble, and then if you go to 2-2, you've thrown the game away because you're in such a strong position. It's not. I don't know how vulnerable the scoreline is. I just think, you know, teams can go 2-0 up, and then teams can get back from that, can't they? 3-0 obviously is more comfortable because there's more goals in the game. You're further away from, you know, 3-1's not a worrying scoreline, is it? Whereas 2-1, you start to think, fucking hell, if it gets to 2-2 here, we've thrown some points away. So I don't, you know, I understand that, and I'm sure there's plenty of statistics about 2-0s and what have you. But I'm well behind on comments here, and I'll start getting told off if I don't catch up. So let's catch up. The ref and Lino were both in line with the pen as well. It's a terrible one. It proper is. Mark K says he was 6 feet in air, 6 foot in putting words in his mouth, or letters in his tweet, or letters in his comment. He was 6 foot in air. How's that not a pen? I agree, Mark K, 100%. Get that badger in and on and over here. Defo pen. Stop crying. Frank Lampard. Ripper says, what a buy. Bogle has been. Love him. He's a beast, isn't he? When he goes on that mazy run, I thought he'd done too much. He said in his interview that he thought he'd done too much, and then, or he thought he'd let it get away from him, and that's because he had. What was really interesting is how he did the left back or the centre back, or whoever the Jeff it was. Who cares who it was? But inside the box, he goes with his left foot, which is quite unconventional. So to nutmeg him, because he's not on that side. I don't know if anybody else is a nutmeg artist like I am, but he's not on that. Normally you go with the nutmeg like through and like past. So like, or with the right foot, he's in a right foot position to make it look like he's going to do something and just nip it through his legs. But he goes, as he's running, really unconventionally with the left outside of his left foot, and he literally puts the defender on toast with it. It's a lovely nutmeg, but having said that, he does overrun it. But it was all part of his plan. And I actually said in the that was a joke about being part of his plan. I'm aware it's not part of his plan, but I actually think he deserves the bit of luck he got there, because he's always driving forward. It's mint when he sets off. Ace. He's been absolutely outstanding for us. He really did. Did you see the replay of Nonto's goal? He was 2 yards on. Absolutely, man. Yeah, it was horrendous. Ripper says ref was a donkey. Ming says bye to Jamie, but I think Jamie's long gone now and I'm well behind, but I thought I'd post it anyway. Hard Style Images says let's talk Frank kicking his bottom lip across the pitch. Tremendous stuff. Absolutely tremendous stuff. Let's talk about Lampard. What can I say about Lampard? What is Lampard? Lampard is a tit. Absolute tit. He put his 4-2 up, didn't he? Like, you know, 4-2. And that is so daft. Frankie boy, Fat Frankie. You won a game about 8 years ago against, for a different team, against a completely different side, against a totally different manager. How long can you talk about 4-2 for? Also, you didn't go up. You didn't beat us to it and then didn't go up. All you did was stop us from going into the final and having an opportunity to go up. Fine, but you did that at Derby against Bielsa, and now you've just been dicked at home to Leeds United, who's now managed by Farker, who you can't even lace his boots. You couldn't lace Bielsa's boots either, you know. I'm not saying he could lace his, he certainly couldn't. You're at your depth, mate. The 4-2 thing's embarrassing. You won a game a few years ago for a different club, quite literally in a different world. Might as well be a different league. You're not even, you know, you've been around block, we've been up, we've been back down. It's 2 years later, even as coming down. What are you talking about, Frank? I haven't got a clue. And the wanker thing, I'm actually a bit more up for. Apparently he's done a bit, the video's a bit sort of like, you can't really see. The video's a bit blurry, but, you know, he did wanker signs at fans. It's like, well, I'm actually up for that one. Don't mind that one, like, you know, whatever. But the 4-2 one just don't make any sense. But calling us all wankers, I'm game for. Knock yourself out. Kill yourself with it. I don't care, you know. I'm fine with that. I don't know why I'm fine with that, but I just am. I just think it's a bit funny. But then he got asked in his interview, didn't he, about like, oh, what you saying about them gestures or whatever that you did, and he's like, do I ever not talk about it? Like, oh, you honestly, man, he's a punk. He's a wet wipe. He's a soft one. A tampon. A wet, abused tampon. BMG says that Mez first save was Banks-esque. 100%. It was beast mode. He pulls it out. Mez is Banksy. Yes. Exactly, Ming. Yes. That both the artiste and the goalkeeper. Although that Pele Banks thing actually gets on my tits a bit in the grand scheme of things. James, Peru, Ramazani, all miss sitters. I feel I'm not just saying this because I love James, but I'm actually on. I think the James lobs are quite a difficult chance to take. You know, there's plenty on it. But the Peru one, the second one where he goes with outside of his left foot, you know, I'm not going to tell him how to finish because he's a monster in there. We will get to Peru, but if he goes with right foot, it's obvious in hindsight. But and the Ramazani one, big miss. Yeah, agreed. Mark K says, don't worry, next year we'll have VAR to contend with. Everybody be up for that. VAR talk, won't there? I agree, though. You know, it stops shit like that, doesn't it? We win that game 4 or 5-0 if we got VAR. FA Cup, best in world. FA Cup says, Sripper. Chris Gill says, bring the scum on. Get up. Sripper says, great time to play scum. Get up. There's never not a good time to play them. They're worst in history. He could really make changes. Darlow, Schmidt, Byram, Struick, Wobber, Gilavogi, Rothwell, Nonto, Ramazani, Joseph, and even Chambers. As mental as that is, I think I'm on board with it. He's going to play Gilavogi. I think he'll bring Rothwell, unless he's going to play him. I think there's a chance Ampadu will stay in there, but I don't want him to do that. I think Ampadu might be in there somewhere. He might keep Road on in middle and not bother with Wobber, but it just depends, doesn't it? Dick Dastardly, no Peru, no party. Good evening all. Yes, brother. I'm about to beat you to the motherfucking punch like a good hooker. Ming says, if you saw Sniffer's header and you don't want to win the FA Cup tie, note down for you. Bang on, says Arse Ripper Ming. Righteous one. I still remember going into a night shift that day we beat Scum in the Cup and was giving a few Scum fans shit. Exactly, dude. That's what it's about, boy. BMG, I think he will make quite a few changes. We can't risk injury to key players at this stage. I agree. And I also think with it being Millwall, just go get it done. With subs, and then if we do, I want the cup run. I'm desperate for it, but I don't know. I'm not. I think we can still make loads of changes and still be all right. That's the thing. I don't think it's. I don't think there's any cause for concern, as it were. Dick Dastardly, the old cup run dilemma. Faki was talking about rotation, so why not play more or less the same team as the last round of the FA Cup? I think he will. I think we'll be surprised how. I think there'll be a fair few that stay in. I know we're now talking about wholesale changes, but I actually don't know. It will be interesting. Meslier is the king around here. Ain't nobody down around here. 78 RPM, what's good, man? Having been a Leeds fan since 69-70 season, I can confirm every good memory you can. Grab every good memory you can. They're like a warm hug through the shit times. 100%, man. They all do it though, Righteous One. That's all I'll say about that. I know the Diags are, can be a bit shit and that, but the best distributors of the ball don't play for Leeds United, do they? Dick Dastardly following you up with the 69-70 season, brother. That's when it all began for so many of you. You could push it and argue that Mez saved us 2 points. I would push that notion. I saw on Twitter a couple of wild takes, as we always do, but saying he needs to do that another 15 times before he gets any praise. Like, why? Get it to some extent, like he's not just out of the woods because he's made some decent saves, but equally, can he not just have a decent performance and then you'd have to be let off the hook? I don't understand what, it's going to be all right, man. Do you know what I mean? You're allowed to say somebody's had a good performance and if Hitler were playing yesterday and he played well, you'd be able to say, tell you what, if you take all outrageousness aside and that, decent game for him yesterday. I'm obviously not advocating. This is not a political channel. It's an observation. I'm not comparing Meslier Silent S to Hitler either. I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate that. But to be fair, the way he's been spoke about on Twitter for the past sort of 6 months, you'd think he fucking what? Righteous One, surely 1-0 is more vulnerable than 2-0. Exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly, Righteous One. Last time Leeds won the FA Cup, I was 8 months old, back in 72. Blitz Millwall, onwards and upwards, FA Cup and Championship. Johnny Garner, love it. Let's have it. Emma Oliver says, I'd love a cup run, knock out Chelsea or Scum, make memories, some fans shouting down with that sort of thing. Winning matches is only good for the team. There's nothing replaces winning matches, Emma Oliver. I agree, brother. See, the boys in the chat are always wanting this cup run, that's what I'm saying. Back in said Dick Dastardly. Well, that's not. This is no way comparable to your time of winning loads of shit. But I remember being a young buck when we were in Champions League and that, and Kuhl and Boy, and I had so many favourite players. The core signing, like, I don't know why the core came to my head then, but I loved the core. Just and Bakker and like Viduka and even Smith and just so Ian Hart and Radaby and Woodgate and Ferdinand at the time. I don't look back at him fondly now. Martin, Gary Kelly, so on and so on and so on. David Batty when he was back. I just thought this would never end. I thought, will we always be this good? I wish somebody to put their arm around me and go, enjoy this, you young man, because this will turn to shit. But nobody could predict the Ridsdale thing. Because nobody, if you're honest as well, unless I am wrong, but I don't think myself to be, nobody could have anticipated the fall that Ridsdale orchestrated, which he did. Lived the dream does my head in when in that interview when he says, we lived the dream. Like, no, we didn't. It was a great time. I was fucking young. it wasn't a dream. You know, I didn't even want to dream. You're not even dreaming at that age, dickhead. But is what it is. And now we're back, or we're on our way to being back. And I do believe, you know, if we can survive for 2 seasons in the Premier League, I think we can be a force again. We've only got to look at what Villa have done, really. The very first save in the first half were routine, but he had to hold it, or it was probably the rebound. Also a decent save. 100% BMG. Arse Ripper handing out the ups. Dick Dastardly sending them back. It was Klopp who said the hardest position was 2-0 up. I thought it was 1-0. Ming, is that right? Don't surprise me with Klopp. He loves it. Angry Mad Gav. As I say, BMG loves trying to drag Angry Mad Gav out. Chris Baldwin's picked up some gonads and he's managed to make his way into chat a few times. Chris Baldwin, are you still here? Calling Chris Baldwin. Chris Baldwin. Hey, Silver Steve, are you two the same person? I know I'm behind the scorelines here, boys. I know I'm behind the times. But are you two the same goons? You wet wipes. Silver Steve in here. Try to make up being nice for hi, pal. Call it pal. Do you remember yesterday, Silver Steve? You've already had your mention, so 7-0 down is quite a scoreline. Yeah, very rare you come back from that. If we go up. Come on, man, it's Wayne. Get up, Mingy. Warnock all day long. I don't mind Warnock, you know. I know he's, you know, I don't mean like as a Leeds manager or whatever, but you can't get away from personalities like him. BMG, love it, mate. That's what I said. I said it in the live watch along when keeper lets go at ball. Just can you imagine if it had been Meslier? Yes, AO, what's good, brother? I think Lampard likes attention from Leeds fans, makes him feel important, absolute weapon, soundbite Frank. 100% Emmett, to be fair. It's a pretty good analysis of it. Ming, I need to get forward, don't I? But I don't like missing anybody's comments. Right, I'll rattle through these. Anthony, welcome to the channel, man. Thank you very much, dude. Ming's reminding me that I'm Fia in the chat. Stop. Ian's defending me, I think, there. I'm hoping. Alfred says Ming, he's always behind, which I'm going to take as an insult. Alfred, that hurts my feelings. Chris Baldwin, I'm not going to overly reply to you because you're normally horrible to me. Hard style images. Don't think he will make that many changes. Never change a winning side. BMG, we finished poorly last season, but even if we're that bad a game, we could well still go up. Plus, we have more depth, fewer injuries, and the other teams are probably worse. I agree. BMG says if Gilavogi plays, it mustn't be at centre-back. I agree. Chris Baldwin's trying to make a joke, but I'm going to ignore him for now. BMG, Mez has cost us 4 points and saved us 2. He's only owes us 2 back. Love it, BMG. I'm loving how you're thinking. Chris Baldwin's really talking, really chatty now for once. Scouse score. I will check that. That's going to get me behind though. Liverpool. 1-0 up. 1-1 on aggregate. Might be a decent match, that, to be fair. LUFC, Passion Aya, Jack Pal, love the squad and love the channel. Yes! Thank you, dude. Get your hands up. Thank you, Alfred. You're lucky when I look back. It's Becky on Snodgrass. Yeah. The early 70s, says Ming. Kenny Yossa Burns with a day. Beckio was a boy. I met Beckio a few weeks ago. We do these where I work, where I DJ. We do these afternoons with whoever. and Becky on Beckford Chem a few weeks ago. It were mint, to be fair. Alfred, you're forgiven. I'm only messing about, brother. I've nearly caught up here, though. AO says it's a shame we didn't have the 49ers as owners when O'Leary was manager, we'd have been unstoppable. O'Leary, 78 RPM says, to be fair with O'Leary, I thought we were back forever. As you say, no one ever saw what was leading to. I really liked O'Leary. O'Leary gets a bit of shit as well. Actually, no, I don't know. I've bumped into one of O'Leary's relatives in, I can't remember, it's like a little town near Wetherby. And as a joke, I says, oh, you're not related to David O'Leary, are you? And she was like, yeah, I am actually. And she was like, unfortunately, like, just messing about. She was like, are you a Leeds fan? And I think she thought he must get a bit of shit, because I think she thought, I was like, oh, I didn't realise, like, no, let him know, like, I don't think many Leeds fans actually hold him responsible for it. I think it's obviously, you know, I think most people loved that time and loved him, really. It's not, you know, he didn't make many subs either, like, but. Warnock is good value. Exactly, Ming. 100%. Love it, Ian. If I'm honest, yeah, Angry Mad Gav does not think Mez is yet redeemed. Ming59 is the new clock watcher. He actually is, Andrew. He actually is the new clock. He's the chat watcher, isn't he? This Angry Steve and Silver Steve are giving us Steve's a bad rep. Don't worry, Righteous One. I didn't know you were a Steve, but it's not all Steves. We know this. Same with Chris. Get up, Gareth. I won't even respond, but I put him up just because I think I wonder if he's still here. I'm anywhere near. I'm near the bottom now. No, Andrew and Ming having it out here. It is good to know. I can see comments flailing away, to be fair. So, Emma, I wouldn't dare do it, brother. I couldn't do it. He's so precious to me that if he wasn't fully respected, I couldn't do it. I'd be so fearful. I'd be like wandering around with him. He'd be like in my coat, inside of my coat. I'd just be holding him dearly. Hold me close. Are you watching it, Anthony? 1-1 in it on aggregate. I'm half hoping Tottenham go through, because I'd like Newcastle to win it. My mate's a Newcastle fan, and I know they can be a bit mad, can't they, Newcastle fans, but I'd rather Newcastle win it than Liverpool. BMG backing me there. £2. Honestly, we'd never fallen out. I do protect the badger like his gold, mate. Certainly do. And I'm a silver man over gold, but she certainly is gold to me. And actually, I know she looks silver, but obviously it's not hard silver. But yeah, she's a wonderful being. Easy with the badger. That is an interesting question, Emma. I'd love to know the answer, but unfortunately, he'll never give you an answer. So, because he just says stuff like this that I obviously thinks he's funny. Make an omelette with all egg on your face in May. He must think that's funny. So I go back to what Emmett said. Who do you actually really support? You ball bag. Badger is full of beauty, Ming. See, we're getting here with comments now. We're loving it. BMG's timing it. The literal clock watcher now. Loving it. The clock watchers are in. Cragger, Coventry nearly got to the final last year and would have without VAR. Why can't we? Please. Love it, Cragger. Let's have it. Chris Baldwin over here. I'm glad. Do you know what, Chris? If that's actually true, I have no respect for you whatsoever. But in them terms, I do. I think fair enough to you, mate. Not mate, you don't class you as a mate even remotely. You're horrible. But if you just, I like anybody that actually says fuck her out. If they, rather than giving it some bullshit about if this don't happen or if this guy don't play or if he don't rotate or if he don't do this, he don't do that or whatever. Like, just say you fuck her out and then I can go, oh yeah, you're an idiot. And then, we can move on from it. I'm up for fuck her outers as long as they say the fuck her outers. I'm all good for it. BMG says, Chris Baldwin, are you Frank Lampard? You'll have a lot in common with him. He'll have that same, like, horrible, like... Imagine that's more wilder, isn't it, that? Ham face. I could put him in his special box, to be fair, Righteous One. And then I could just, like, just reveal him like that every now and again. I can't, BMG. I can't. I've got a lot of time for you, brother, but I can't. Cragger's straight in with what we all think. Chris, you're sad, mate. Righteous One, think I told you before my cousin played for Warnock at Huddersfield. He gave him a run out. Loves the Yorkshire lads. Tremendous stuff. There's some crazy stories about Warnock, though, isn't there? Like, with getting involved in the... playing players that are on like contracts so that they get a certain bonus and stuff, like gameplay bonus, and then they end up he takes like a certain percentage and stuff. I think he got done for that. Goes fast to say he got done for it. BMG, I don't know what Angry Mad Gav's delivery would be like, but we can try it. We can certainly get him in. I'm actually going to make a bit of a Leeds track, I think. Like, I'm going to have a bit of fun, I think, and get Joe on it. I'm going to get Luke from Auto Know Better on it to do like a little bit. I'll write it for him and then they'll just jump in and do a bit. And we'll have to have a middle eight where Angry Mad Gav comes in. And I don't really like comedic music. I'm not into, trying to be funny. But if we got like a bit of a chorus, what is like a bit chanty, like a bit of a Leeds chant, I think it's doable. I think we can bring it round as long as we keep tasteful with it. As long as we keep the taste to it, I think there's a genuine potential to get it going on. And if Joe shares it, we're talking, with his following. Christmas #1, boy. Steve put me to sleep, Andy. Yeah, he certainly did. The reason why I'm early tonight is because I like to do as long as I physically can, and I'm off on Just Joe's at 10. So I didn't want to not be... Because we did 3 hours last week and, it went really well. So, I mean, I am open to coming back after Just Joe's because I literally don't care. I sign out on a Thursday. Nobody talks to me on a Thursday no more. Ironically, I used to go to the pub and that on a Thursday. And then I've started doing this and I prefer having a beer with you lot. So, and that's not a knock to my mates, but I genuinely do. So I just thought, well, I'll just basically go to the pub on a Thursday night and chat to you boys. Barring Chris Baldwin, it's the chats normally, and Silver Steve's a bell as well. But other than that, I think we get it going on here, boys. I think we have some good chats, do you not? How sad is it to haunt other teams' chats thinking everyone gives a shit about your insecurities, Chris Baldwin? It's not going well for you, Chris. Frank with his bird lips. Ayo says, I always wanted O'Leary to return to Ellen Road as manager, and the Leeds fans who slammed O'Leary at the time all know who they are. As I say, it's not... it can never be blamed for that. If you ask for some money, ask for a player and he gets... And the chairman says, yeah, bring him in, and, you can't beat a smooth badger. Muppets like Bamford, Forshaw, they've been beaten since... We've been beaten once since Christmas. How does they say? We've been beaten once since Christmas. Shut up. Way 78 RPM. I love it, mate. Chris Gill. If I could somehow like, I wish I could like. Well, we'll have to work on it. I must be able to get some sort of an LED screen or something that I can put up, and ones that I really need like extra like highlighting, like haloed around my head. This is perfect. So Chris Gill. So Chris Baldwin. Chris Gill agrees with you, mate. He's Farker out. Out the championship into Prem. Get up. Love it. That's ace. It probably was. Is that in reference to Warnock? To be fair though, BMG, Baldwin, Augustine, there won't be any animosity towards Leeds United, will they? Ellen Road with him. He's just there getting his paycheck. He'll love it. I'm 100% good at MVG. I'm going to get him and Luke from Auto Know Better to just record like a back and forth, I think. I think it'll be mint. Oh, I don't know, to be fair. I don't know what the name would have to be. It would go under my name, to be fair. They're not taking me that far, but I would say it would be a feature Luke from Auto Know Better and feature from Just Joe Football Show. That's what we do. That's what we do, guarantee. AO says, I never wanted Farker as manager, but now Farker is here. I'll tolerate Farker until we are promoted. Then we need a new manager who can win us trophies at the highest level. For me, dude, AO, Farker will get us to a certain level in the Prem, and I don't think I think he deserves a proper chance at it. I really do. I think he deserves some money getting launched at him in Prem. See what he can do with it. I think he's ace. I honestly think we have potential with him to really cement ourselves in Premier League. I truly do. And I hope for him and for me and for us and for you and for everyone, I hope if he does, well, I hope he does, and I hope he becomes an absolute legend for it. So the Badger will be all over the track, man. Don't worry about that. The Badger's more spoke about than me, so, and I don't really care. I'm happy for the Badger to get her time in the limelight. Well, BMG. Unfortunately, like Ian says, Baldy's done one by the looks of it. Alfred Tam's put you on naughty step, which I'm happy about. I loved O'Leary time. Then they saw Ferdinand behind his back. It was mental, wasn't it, when they started getting rid of everyone. Gareth says MVG just beating Luke Littler. Did they have a bit of a back and forth? I only saw a headline, but it says Littler responds to MVG criticism or something. I'd quite like MVG to get back on a bit of a run, really, and get back to his beast. BMG loves it on naughty step. JK must love Leeds. He 100% will. What a paycheck. Biddly bar. Yes, yo. Bro. Henro. What's good? Yo. Swan Apoli. Oh, not polio, but Swanny Polly. Swanny Pearl. Henro. I can do Henro. Art style images. Angry Mad Gav is like going down the pub with the lads Friday tea time. I know. That's where he came from. Literally where he came from. It's funny, Luke Humphries. I thought you were a bit... I just saw an argument he had with him. I've caught up on a BMG. I know I've caught up. It's that I can deal with it when it's in one screen like this. I have it on massive things so I can definitely get through them all. And I've caught a don't blow it. I know, and then will be straight back onto me if I do. But yeah, I thought Luke Humphries didn't have... I don't mean this in a nasty way, but not much about him really. But then I saw him arguing with Sean Murphy, and it were mint. It was on about like 9 darters and what's harder with a 147, and Luke Humphries made a pretty good point about like in the professional game he thinks 9 darters are harder, so once you get to the professional game he thinks you see less 9 darters than you do 147s, which is true to be fair, but he said it as an amateur a 9 darter is more achievable than a 147. But I don't know if Sean Murphy heard that right or whatever. But I think even if you disagree with that, I think there's some legitimacy in that. Because there's the thing going around in it. What's harder, a golf hole-in-one, a 147 or a 9 darter? And I personally think a 147's harder. I think if you keep twatting golf ball, you'll get to an hole-in-one before you get to a 147. It's one perfect shot in it. 147 is out 50 odd shots, whatever it is, perfect shots. It's crazy. You know, you're playing against a player as well, so he's affecting the balls. With a golf ball, you're just pinging it. You're not playing against the other guy. With a dartboard, you're not playing against the other guy. You're just playing the dartboard, aren't you? You know, with a 147, it's somebody else breaks off here, which is, you know, the start of the difficulty. So I would side with the 147, but I'm up for that. I know what Luke Humphries is saying, because as a professional, to hit it on stage is probably, well, rarer, whether it's harder or not. What's harder? 147, hole-in-one, or 9 darter. Let's have a bite of that. We got 211 votes last week, which blew my mind, which we're not going to get to today, so we've only got 50 people in the room, but I'll take it. Appreciate every which one here. Alfred Tam says, I'm glad Luke Littler got beat. Presuming you're not a fan, brother. Good for the sport, though. He does drag a load of people in. And I do like darts. A lot of my mates are really good at darts. BMG says, if Farker gets some brass, he should be able to finish 15th-ish for a couple of seasons, then kick on. We'll get some hidings, but we'll beat the shit teams and should do enough. 100%, big lad. That is insanely the plan, innit? You know, you'd think if we can finish 10th to 15th for 2 seasons, that's good going. And then, like you say, need to kick on then. Because that can't go on forever then. It will be like, you know, we need to move on. I don't want to, you know, just talk about Farker, but if we can't see some sort of progression, and I don't just mean in terms of position either. It doesn't have to be like, you know, you don't have to go from 15th to 13th, and that's like all progression. Like, well, no, you know, you know how sort of you get a feeling for a season, don't you? Yes, Kevin, what's good, man? Thank you, dude, for joining us. Andy Rowe says, I reckon Angry Mad Gav is your alter ego trying to get out. He may very well, but it might be me. That might be actually me, like the first me, and then this is the bullshit one. Jack is like this is not me. I don't know. I don't talk to myself, so well, I do actually, which is harrowing. I didn't, BMG. I'm on it. Do not worry. Sometimes I'll dip in low and then I come back up high. Sell low, buy low, sell high. Do not worry, BMG. I do my best. I did not miss that. It got spoke about that one, BMG. I enjoyed it. AO says, Jack, do you think if Farker has a blank checkbook to sign players, Leeds can win the Premiership or qualify for Europe? Not next year, but I don't know why not. I think his style of play, I think he'll get us to Europe, in fairness. I actually do. I mean, I'm talking about if you give him 5 years. Now, the problem is he's not going to get 5 years. But why not? I think Farker's... We spoke about this before, haven't we? And don't want to go over it again, but I think Farker... you know, being at teams like Norwich and stuff, if they just stayed out of way, you know, like Arne Slot did, Eric Ten Hag did, I'm running out now, but like Potter did well at Brighton, then gets his big move. Trying to think of but more managers that have come over. My point is, if you go into Championship with Norwich, you're in Championship with Norwich. Alonso's doing it. His stock's risen through roof. Obviously Guardiola, you know, is I believe the man, but he was at, you know, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. You know, you're gonna do it in them clubs, aren't you? Mourinho, it's same. I know he did it at Porto early doors, but you know, it's like, I don't know. You get tarnished with this like Sean Dyche level of football or whatever, just because you know, I don't care for Sean Dyche, but I think his football's shite. But I don't think Farke's football is shite. So, so what am I saying? So I'm saying Farke's potentially been pigeonholed into being this brilliant Championship manager, which he is. But I don't think that's all he is. So that's my point. They sell darts for 50 quid down the Leeds souvenir shop. Do they? Whose darts are they? Kevin Otto says the two calmest Leeds content creator is you, Jack, and Joe Blackburn. I'll take it, dude. Thank you, Kevin. BMG, Andy Rowe, do we think Jack is a schizophrenic and doesn't even remember doing Angry Mad Gav? Like Ed Norton and Primal Fear. He creeps out on occasion. He does cream out on occasion. He never creams out. Good lord. Right, so we're into the ice cold ones now, boys. This is what I was saying. So now these are the ice cold ones, but nah, see, I've done it wrong. Because they're just chilled now. They're not ice cold. I've played myself. I should have gone ice cold and then just hit the warm ones up when I'd had a beer. Because now I want, you know, I never got that crisp, did I? Bastards. 40,000 to 1 for a hole-in-one for an average player. Statistically, a hole-in-one by far, and I've done it, what, the hardest one? Ian says, I've ticked them all, not done any of them. It was a belter, mate. We got there, do not worry. Sakamoto, did you notice that he was playing yesterday, Sensei? Little needs to up his jewellery game, Bobby George style. It's ace, that. I remember that as a kid, Bobby George. It was mint Bobby George there. Boys and Bob. We've got to get a Boys and Bob lyric in there as well. And anybody that remains on the membership, so not that's been gifted, it'll have to be remains, because if not, because the gifts have been crazy. So because we've got MVG, Hummers, Ming handing them out like it's Christmas. They're gone through it roof, but we will try and get as many members in the wrap as we possibly can. And then just as I've said that, I've scrolled to the bottom, and my man Hummers, yet again, dude, is a maniac. Making it rain, dude. You are, honestly, dude, bonkers, dude. Hummers 11. Everybody, whack a Hummers 11 in the chat. He pops in, he gives me 20 quid and he fucks off. I don't fuck off, I'm only messing about, but that is honestly the legend, man. Bro, enjoy some ciders this weekend on me, top of the league. Thank you, Hummers. You're an absolute G. Tell Chris Baldwin. MVG says there was a Reddit thread on this very topic. I think consensus was the 147 was considered the hardest. I do believe that. Yes, Pat Dome, what's good? Currently, though, the hole in wall, and we've had hole in wall. Hell. Bring on the wall! Hole in one. We've only had 33 votes, but hole in one's winning at minute. No, 49. The 9 darter's nowhere near 49 darter. I don't think we're on 40. Are we on? I thought we were on 43. Are we? I wrote it down. We're on 43 at minute. This is best we've been. And if they'd got some, if they'd let us have, yeah, we're on 43 now. And if they let us have a few more fucking goals, yesterday, which is, you know, was their doing, would have been, God knows, we could have been on plus 50. 7-0. That's all we do now. 7-0. BMG, Brighton finished about 17th 3 seasons in a row. Yep. Never worry, never fear, BMG. You're a good lad. AO says players do score 147s and 9 data finishes, but all-in-ones are not as common for golfers. Going to Google it later. Which sport scored the most? Well, bring back them statistics. Bring back them statistics. It's such a... yes, MVG. Straight in, I was just about to say Leeds are like a turkey waiting for Christmas, which is such a rubbish, you know, it defines him so well, that, doesn't it, Chris Baldwin? And then I don't even have to get to it because legendary MVG straight in with, what? Delicious. Get up. Baldy's back, he sneaked his phone upstairs. Wait till mummy finds out, says Ian. It don't go well for you, Chris, being a ball bag, you see. You're in wrong chats, mate. You might get some weight elsewhere, but no one gives a shit about you. I know, to be fair, in larger channels, and he can give me this shit. Well, no, because other channels that I go into, there's like 250 people watching at once and that. Like, yeah, well, whatever, man. But you're here for a reason, aren't you, mate? You're getting your little minute, aren't you? Imagine being a Burnley fan. Tell me about it, Gareth. Is that right, BMG? I thought maybe around 3 par 3s they'd get a few. I'm up for it. If people are going in, it's getting towards 50% each, 36 votes. 44% all in, 50% all in one, 44% 147, and then 6% 9 data. So I find that interesting. I appreciate how hard I got all in one is like. I just think there's a degree, it's a one perfect shot in it, and there's a degree of luck, whereas it's just zero luck. My point is, if I hit it, if I keep hitting it, how am I getting the love? If I keep hitting a golf ball, you know, you could give it to a monkey and it could keep twatting it, couldn't it? And if you could hit it far enough, it'll eventually go in, won't it? That's kind of my point with the 147. The 147s are perfect shots. I'm glad the 9 darts nowhere near though, because I've hit a 180 before and I'm really bad at darts. You know, I practiced for a few weeks when I used to work day shift at a pub. I used to do 12 hours on a Wednesday. So I'd just stand there all day throwing darts. And I did eventually. I mean, I've hit a few 180s. Obviously hitting them on, you know, hitting 2 and then, is it triple 20, triple 19, double 12, is it? Obviously, that's different. But, you know, you could get there quicker. Andy Ross says, Farker's day will come in the Premier League. I personally think he won't last a year. What does your poll say? We can do a poll on that if you wish, Andy, but I think he lasts more than a year. Can't you open a beer with your eye socket? Get it. I don't know why I closed that eye and then put it to that one. You wouldn't do it with the open eye, would you? That's for sure. What's odds of a cream pie? I'm going to leave that one to you, boys. Don't get leathered on a stream, Jack. Joe, Jack. I get called Joe all the time. Ming. Handing them out like Christmas. Bremner's Ghost. Bremner's Ghost, I haven't commented for ages, you know. Bremner's Ghost used to really make me laugh. Hummers, you're getting the love that I asked for. We've had a legend off Alfred Tam. We've had a legend off Tim Flowers. A legend off the legendary MVG. Legend off Anthony Callery. Ming handing them out. Honestly, Ming Hummers and legendary MVG and Jamie Tobin are monsters in these chats, you know. They really are. BMG, legend has it that Chris Baldwin tried to do a minus super chat. Yeah, it's like it's a hack in it. So the super chat comes in, and then Chris Baldwin tries to he takes the 60%, doesn't he? 9 darters with the Holy Grail. Now they're like buses, 3 arrive at once. That is true. To be fair, they are now like they are becoming more and more often. But the level of darts is through the roof, isn't it? Second half's just started with Liverpool. All in one's dropping here. We've got 37 votes. How many people in the room? 44. Who haven't voted? Let's try and get it to. If we get it to 40, I'll close the poll. Close the poll. AO says, Jack, that's an interesting take on Farker. I suppose Farker is untested with a blank checkbook, although his time at Norwich was hit and miss. Yeah, let's see what Farker does in the Premiership. That's what I mean, though. But with Norwich, what's he ever going to do? You know, have Norwich even been back up since Farker? Like, I'm not even joking. When was Farker? This is a job for ChatGPT, to be fair. I'll have to do it on here. Hang on. When was? Oh, fuck off, Chat GPT. Oh, I can't be asked. I need to go on my other account. Basically, my point is, I reckon I back myself. I reckon I've Norwich been back in the Premier League since Farker got sacked. Because I doubt it. Agreed, BMG. It's huge. Do not apologise, Ummers 11. You're a bad man. Late to the show. Apologies. Spurs versus Liverpool. I'm a big Ange fan, being an Aussie and watching our boy Archie. Love it, Ummers. Well, I was just saying, and this is honestly not to. I'm not sucking up to you because you're always banging you're always handing it out like it's like Santa Claus. But I said, and people will vouch for me in the chat, I want Tottenham to win this on the basis that I would like Tottenham and Newcastle to get to the final. Don't really like Liverpool. I don't really buy into this Arne Slot's come in and, you know, even though he has done a tremendous job, but it's just like, you know, I don't know, Man City have fallen off. Arsenal haven't been quite what they were. But yeah, 1-1 like, and its second half's just kicked off, Hummers. Ming's watching it. What's it like as a game, genuinely? What's it on? Because I could potentially watch it. Is it on Sky? I'd have to swap over there. I'd have to swap to other computer, and not willing to do that. Balls is only on your channel because the rest have banned him. That is probably true, to be fair, Andy. He's always on the cusp. Yeah, well, I would personally go 147, then the hole in one, and then the 9 darter. But I'm coming around to hole in one a little bit, and I don't really. And I've only whacked a golf ball at driving range, so I've never really played it. I just know how hard, as you all do, know how hard snooker is. It's just so hard. You can summon Satan, but Gav must come on his own accord. If you stop talking about Gav, he will arrive. He's not like Candyman. It's not say his name 3 times and he will arrive. Got to 6 inch on a par 3 at Temple Newsham a few years ago. Not near since. 6 inch. I bet you could have prodded it in with something else there, Ian. How did you measure it 6 inch, big lad? For the average snooker player, getting a 147 is just impossible. You can fluke an all-in-one, you can't fluke a 147. That's kind of where I'm at, Emmett. That's where I'm at. It took Tiger Woods ages to get a hole-in-one from memory. He doesn't have many. Yeah, but then this is my point. So when you hear like Ronnie O'Sullivan talking about 147s and stuff, it's like they're on about breaking the first 100, and they're like, I broke my first 100 when I was like 15. I've been playing 10 years. It's like just to get to 100. Like what is the people in the chat? What's your biggest break? Do you know what I mean? At snooker. Because honestly, if I got 8, I'd put it on board and I'd just walk out. Yes, BMG. I actually watched the it's mint when have you seen the one as well where he goes up to, is that the one you're on about when he goes up to ref? Oh, Liverpool's just gone 2-0 up, boys. Mohamed Salah with pen. Fucking hell. But yeah, BMG, have you seen that one where he goes over to the ref and he says, how much is it for a 147? And then he's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, oh, find out. Go find out. So he's like waiting. Ronnie O'Sullivan he still puts a few shots in, but he's like, have you found out how much a 147 is? And there's also that one where he's left on black for the 147 and he won't put it in. He's like, no, because the prize money's gone down. Ronnie O'Sullivan's a legend. So like, no, the prize money's gone down. I'm not putting it in. And then the ref comes over to him and goes, oh, just do it for fans, Ronnie. So he slams it in. But he actually said in his interview years later about that, he said he actually likes that ref. And he did it on the basis that he likes the ref. He was like, no, fair enough, fans, I like the ref. I'll do it, I'll put it in. But he didn't want to put it in. And I do agree to some extent. You should excellency should be rewarded. Well, it's unfortunate, isn't it, Alfred? But he's going to be all right, isn't he? He's not the one taking the punishment for it, is it? It's not his fault. I am Andy, actually. No, but my bird's at work, so she'll be bringing some treats back. And if she doesn't, they'll be all hell to pay. Andy Roberts says, not a golfer bringing it, but had an all-in-one once. Gave the wife a surprise. Marched on together. Marching on together. 78 RPM. Love it, by the way, Andy Roberts. 78 RPM says the big issue with Farker in the Prem is how much is he backed in building the squad. If fully backed, he could surprise a lot of people. 70 RPM, that would be one of the ones that came among my halo. BMG, the clock watcher. To be fair, says BMG, there are a few all-in-ones that are complete fluke. James Kingston bounced one in off a tree. Liverpool getting the love here, unfortunately. Hummers. It's on Sky 1. Goal Scouse. I'm just catching up. I did tell you live myself, but I am behind, which the clock watchers will let me know. Candyman is 4 times. Beetlejuice is 3. So I know Beetlejuice. Oh, I nearly did it. But I thought Candyman's 3 times. I'm sure Candyman. How many times do you have to say? I'm looking this up. How many times do you have to say Candyman? Five times. In the Candyman film series, you must say the name Candyman 5 times in front of a mirror to summon him. It's a mint idea, that, innit? I don't want to be a wet wipe, but it is a mint idea, that. Come on, Tottenham. They're just a bit shit, though, out the Spurs at minute. It's like, fucking hell. Richarlison's been mauled off. Actually, Gray playing right back. Who'd have thought it? That idiot Farker getting him in at right back here. Is that right, BMG? All-in-one still winning. We're on 39 votes. Go on, boys. Somebody whack a vote in there. Finish it off. Because I think it's a lot harder to win Premier League than it is to win Champions League, and I honestly believe that. And no, I believe that, but I also believe that the best team doesn't win the Champions League. Man City have been the best team in Europe for so many years and have won it once. The best team in the league always win the league. I know that's obvious, but you can't win the league if you are not the best team. It's not possible. Even the year that Leicester won the league, they were the best team in the league. It's just obvious. You can't not be. You can't beat that amount of teams. You can't garner that amount of points. You can get a lucky draw. You can win the Euros. You can win the World Cup and not be the best team. It's actually pretty rare that the best team wins the World Cup. But I don't know how rare it is in fairness, but you know, there's been plenty of Brazil sides, plenty of Spain sides, plenty of every single side, you know, that have gone and blown teams away early doors. Portugal won it. I thought they were shit the whole tournament. I don't even think they won a game in the group stage. They drew them all, and then ended up winning it. So it don't, you know, cup competition's completely different. That's why Liverpool won the Champions League with Carragher and that lot when they were nowhere near the best team in the league. It will do MVG, yeah, but just all in ones in general. That's what I mean. If you pick a nice spot, kind of what I mean with 147, like the table's the table, innit? You're never going to get away from the table. There's different holes for different goals, isn't there? Ronnie's got about 15 tournament 147s. It's insane. A few 40 odds, but my yocks have gone now. You got the X. Really? Jesus, AO, you bit of a player then, big lad. That's genuinely, that is some serious play in that. And Oliver, I love a pub with a pool table and a dart board, but I'm absolutely useless at darts. Love my pool though. I don't have patience for pull, me. At the Masters Par 3 contest, some little known Korean guy got 2 aces in a row. Andy Ross says, Ronnie's his own worst enemy. Sometimes when he's bored, he plays left-handed. Some say he undermines his opponents. I never buy into that undermining thing. He does what he wants. He does what he wants. People have got to get over it. He does what he wants. I thought Candyman were 3 times due, but it's not. It says 5. Righteous One says we're both wrong. Emmett Oliver, my local pub is actually a Fulham pub with a mix of Chelsea and Arsenal fans as well. I'm the only Leeds fan, but everyone is quality and great banter. I live West London. Down in London, dude, on Easter weekend. I'm off to go see Harry Mack, a rapper. I don't know if I'll be anywhere near, but I think it's near King's Cross. My geography's shit and my London knowledge is even worse. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, my brother, he did a Masters in London. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he lived in Fulham, or certainly near Fulham, only for a couple of years while he was doing his Masters. But I'm almost sure, because I believe there's a lot of belief involved here, so none of it's certain, because as I say, my geography is so bad. But I know, I'm willing to say that I know his London club while he was there, like, he's a Leeds fan, and there's no getting away from that. Don't anybody start on my brother about it. But he liked Fulham on the basis that I think that was the closest club, or perhaps not the closest ground, but maybe a team that he thought he could get away with liking. So he went with Fulham. And if I thought anybody'd be bothered, I'd text him to find out, but I don't think anybody'd be that bothered, really. Penalty 51. Alfred Tam's on 3. I thought it was 3 times. I'm really surprised. Yes, Joe Depp. Cleaned up left-handed. O'Sullivan's a beast, man. Absolute monster. Cheers, Ian. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you, brother. Ooh. Cardiff, man. Yes, you have to say it 7 times. Cardiff, 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 Cardiff. What would have been perfect there if me and you would have set it up, Pat Dunn. I could have got, like on New Year's Eve, we could have got a net on roof here that nobody can see. Like, you just close it down a little bit so that nobody can see the roof. And you've got, like, when they put balloons down. And we could have got 7 footballs to drop down, couldn't we? At the perfect time. The only issue is I'd have been that worried about the Badger. I'd have been real worried about the Badger. But the Badger would have just got up and fucking won it. I'd have been like, here, Badger, get up and win it. He'd be like, fucking get up and win it. Get up. About to your knowledge, Righteous One. I'd have gone with it. If we'd not used Google, I'd have gone with it. But I don't, Andy, no, I can't be bothered with FA Cup game. I work, it's Friday night, Saturday morning, so I don't want to be rushing about for half 12, quarter to one kickoff, whatever it is. I will be going live though, providing I'm back in time from work. Are you going, Andy, says Oliver. 16 shots to 1, is that right, dude? Jesus Christ, it's 18 shots to 2 now. It's Liverpool, innit? Liverpool, Newcastle in final, by the looks of it. Cups and leagues, chalk and cheese. That sort of rhymes. Leagues and cheese. Cups and leagues, chalk and cheese. Cups and leagues, chalk and cheese. Chalk and cups and leagues, chalks and cheese. Chalk on the cheese in the cups and leagues. That's why Wenger was not a great manager. Even by luck, he should have won the Champions League. I think Wenger, Nenga, Woody Wenger, the chicken whopper Wenger was a good manager though, in fairness. I think he was a great manager actually, to be fair. Humphries has won. Yeah, I agree with that, BMG, to be fair. There's certain sports where like you can be alright at something, then you play somebody as a pro and it's like, in fairness though, I actually think football's like that. I know it's a team sport, but if you play... No, to be fair, I think most sports, if we're talking high-end pro level, it's magic. It's impossible what they're doing. Even in an individual basis, it's impossible to do what they're doing. I'd take your point. Like with golf, you're just literally a million miles away from players. But you are with football. Like if Ampadu came down and played six-a-side with you, can you imagine? It'd be so embarrassing. Righteous one says Harry Mackey, quality, love it. 7 balloons, get them in on and over here. And I'd be like having to like try to drag them down like one at a time. They'd come down eventually. We'd have to do the longest live stream in history, wouldn't we? And just let them just gradually go like, just flutter down and be like, they're on the way down, boys. Cardiff are collapsing. Andy Rose says, Oliver, my days of going home and away are over. Fair play, says Oliver. Yeah, to be fair, I know Andy and he did go to loads of games. But don't now. Solid question. How many games to win Champions League? I mean, I would imagine it's perhaps changed now, but... See, Google normally do like an AI answer. Where's that gone? They play 8 games. Oh, fuck's sake. I don't know. Hang on. Stay with me here. How many games to win Champions League? To win the UEFA Champions League, a team must go through multiple stages. So, group stage, which is 6 games. So, 6, round of 16, 2 games. 8, quarterfinals, 2 games. 10, semi-finals, 2 games. 12, final, 1 game. 13. 13 games. It's not, this is what we're saying, isn't it? 38 games to win a Premier League title. And it takes 13 to win Champions League. I know you could argue, but you could argue also that the standard is worse at the start. I mean, some shit teams that they play, Brest and just random garbage like that. It's like, Yeah, I agree. BMG, that is a different game. Should I text him? We're calling for the text. Can't leave us hanging up. Shall I leave? I'll tell you what I'll do, boys. I'll leave him a voice note and then we can get him involved. Dave, you've been summoned. Not quite like Candyman, which we've learned is actually... Well, no, actually, I'll let you answer these questions. So you've been summoned, not quite like Candyman, but we are live here, so don't say fuck or bugger, as Bo Selector would say. And we're not sure if you'll get back to me in time because you may very well be at work. But you've got to say, how many times do you have to say Candyman? That's your first question before he's summoned. How many times do you have to say Beetlejuice before he's summoned? And then the final question, which is actually directed to you, but I've utilised all of these things in one. And it has to be a voice message back, so I'm going to put it through the microphone. Did you or did you not support Fulham? By the way, the chat, everybody in the chat is aware that you support. You're a staunch Leeds fan. It's just when you went to London to do your masters, did you live near Fulham and pick Fulham as your team? The chat are genuinely interested, so we await your response. This channel is ridiculous. I swear to God. We await his response, guys. You masters, did you? We await my brother David's response. Oh dear God. Let's catch up here. I'm well behind. We've only got 20. I'm off on Just Joe's show in 27 minutes, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this poll. Although it's not gone the way I wanted, but 44 votes. 48% said hole in one. 45% said 147, and 7% said the 9 data. So I'll take that. So, is it worth another stream after Just Joe? Yeah. Or go to bed. Because Thursday night really is... It really is underlap night for me. Lovely stuff. We await his response. Top pocket. Crazy, dude. I actually had that in the topic. I don't know why I write down topics, to be fair. And that's not knocking you guys, but we end up just jumping in and chatting shit, don't we? But Peru's got 13 goals and 5 assists. He's currently top of the league in terms of goals and assists. The man's a beast. His finish yesterday is just, it's just what he's all about in it. So he's ace. Underrated. The reality is we're probably going to go up with him. I think we need... Well, do we or don't we? I don't know. Do you, I don't know. He's either number 9. I mean, you want somebody in. We need another one in. But, whether or not... My point is whether or not they're going to be better than Peru is open to discussion, in my opinion. I don't know if we're going to get in, really. So we'll have to see. Cardiff are very lucky to get 0. Inflatable sheep says, that would have been sensational, to be fair. If 7 inflatable sheep. Used to be able to buy sheep from fuck. I think I've just cut my forehead. I've got a fucking bottle and top in my hand. Used to be able to buy sheep from Yates's, or was it Yates's? I think it was Yates's. Used to be able to buy like inflatable sheep in Toilets, I know they were trying to be funny, but you know, I never found it that funny, to be fair, and that's when I didn't. I've grown a sense of humour since then. Have we talked about Bamford yet? Have I missed much? We haven't spoken about Bamford for far too long, have we? I think that is for certain. Champions League's a bit different because it's a knockout part, yeah, but that's why I think the luck comes in. I think that's what we're saying. You can draw some shits, you know, or you can, you know, win one big game, but if you know, you can afford to lose games until you get to the knockouts, evidently, but Big Jew. Probably about 15, I think. Did we got to 13, did we? I'm well behind here, aren't I? AO says get to bed, can rest up, continue the madness another time. Get up, Ming. Emma Oliver says, I actually believe we have a better squad this season than last. That's mad considering we sold Archie, Somerville and Rutter. I agree. I think we're more even. I think, if I'm honest, I think Somerville, Rutter and Archie Gray, well, just on the basis that he's playing in the Premier League, you'd have to suggest he gets back in the side. So I think them three still get in the side. But I think as a unit and like with the bench, and I think we've probably got a better squad now, yeah. BMG says, golf wise, I'm okay, and if I hit the green from 150 yards, it's a good shot for me. 150 yards? A pro would be disappointed to be outside. I wouldn't even, if I thought the green was 150 yards away, I wouldn't even play. BMG agrees with them about squad. Maybe not got the X factor players, but more depth and less reliance on a couple of players. Love it. Emmett says it's easy to get Fulham home tickets. Even now in the Premier League, you can just stroll up in the week and buy a ticket for the weekend. Madness. I think it's expensive though, in it, Fulham. It's quite an expensive place, isn't it? An hour and a half behind. This is BMG. I'm not doing bad, BMG. I'm on my way. Right, just won both. My brothers are Liverpool fans and sister is Man City. Disgusting. That's crazy. Alfred's in on the 147. BMG. Get you to do Angry Mad Gav is harder than all in one. I don't know what that means. Love him to get 20 plus goals and get his proper flowers. Whoa, shite. Yeah, I think he's going to struggle for 20 now. We've got 15 games left, so 7 goals. He could maybe get 20. Joe Depp called 20 weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Well, no, he didn't call 20, to be fair. He said if Peru gets 20 this season, should he be your number 1 starter, number 9? And I fully was so on board with it. It was unbelievable. I'll never forget that moment. So, yeah. But even as now I'm getting through the comments, but even Joe Depp's saying there, this is where I'm at the risk of just agreeing with everything Joe Depp says about Peru. You know I love Peru, but an addition is needed if we go up. I agree. As I said, even if it's just something. Oh, Liverpool have gone 3-0 up now, boys. It's over. An addition is needed in general, and I don't want to talk about Joseph, but it's a no-flight zone now with Joseph. And if he's not the number 1, if he can't be banging goals in left, right, and centre, I worry about these young players. I mean, I don't worry about them. You know, truth be told, they've got to get on with it themselves. I'm not worried about them. But you know, there's an element where they've got to get on with it. You can't wait around like this. I honestly think someone think, oh, I'm at Leeds, like now I'm on bench, I'm getting games, I'm getting goals, like 2 goals, whatever he's got. It's like we're off up, mate. We're in the ascendancy. If you don't come with us, you're gonna stop without us. 147 versus all-in-one depends on standard of play. For pros, and 147 is probably easy. For an average Joe, a 147 is impossible. But anyone can fluke an ace. I agree. Archie nearly scored with the cross, says Mingy. Self-arm with a bottle top. Definitely a split personality. Yeah, that's why it dragged out and then it went like me, myself and Irene. Anthony Calorie says, yeah, game over now, 3 up. The day behind. BMJ, how far behind is in chat? The day behind. Hey, Badger's always bottle topless. Has our kid responded yet? I don't think he's coming in. He sometimes drives home pretty late at night, you know, so he does tune in for lives, so we're hoping to catch him, but nah, not yet. He's evading. He's avoiding us. Yeah, 3 out. It's over. Do you just need him to score, Ming? Does it not matter result? He's a new signing, is he? They just signed him. Have they loaned him, have they? Ange does my head in a bit. He's always trying to make, you know, I know people like him, but I didn't bring him here for 6 months. It's like he's always trying to sort of say something. I like him initially, but I think sometimes he over talks. And then he ends up dropping himself in a bit of shit, really. Like all the what do you call it? I always win something in my second season style stuff. It's just a bit like, I mean, go for it, to be fair. You know, have it, live it, fucking go for it, because you're gonna get. They all get, like I've said about Farke. You might as well just get out on your stall and have it out with yourself, because you're gonna get sacked eventually anyway. No one gives a shit about you, so. You seem to perform time travel. When we go up, you know it, Mingy. I'd take both, 100%, man. People are a bit more sceptical on Rothwell, but I would 100% take both. I'd take Rothwell, I really would. Why wouldn't you take Rothwell? It's like, he's been mint for us. Again, it's like, you know, I think people like to be overly, like, critical of the players in the door, because, again, it's on this Connor thing where it seems intelligent. It's like, oh, you know, but, you know, you're all on about Rothwell, and Rothwell just won't be able to make the step up and all this shite. Like, why? Do you know what I mean? What's that based on? Let's have a look at him. I mean, he's 30, in fairness. He's just turned 30. Started his life at Scum. Southampton, Bournemouth, Blackburn, Oxford, Barnsley, Blackpool. So, you know, fair enough to some extent. But, you know, he played 31 times for Bournemouth 2 years ago. In Prem. It's pretty good going, you know. We've got a decent player there. I just think, my point is, I just think we sign out on certain players because it's like, needs to be, fucking hell, Liverpool have scored again. Who's bagged that? 4th goal for Liverpool, says Alfred. Scouse score 4-0. Rothwell would be a brilliant squad player. Do you know what I mean? If you've just got if you've got him in and around it, it's like. Definitely. What, I don't have I missed the argument you've had, boys? You seem to have made up there. No, BMG. I don't mean over talk as in words. Because what I like how Facky deals with press, because he doesn't say nout. My point is Angie's mint in like the way that he speaks. It's really like, but. And I'm so up for it. If I were a fan of him, like if I were a Tottenham fan, I'd just get behind it. Like I'd be up for it. I'd be like, yeah, say whatever you want, mate. Like, you know, tell them what you think. But my point is, you really with press, the less you tell them, the better. There's no need to be like, I don't even mean obnoxious or arrogant in the wording of what he says. I mean like, what do I mean? He's very like to the point where he says things that are actually like fans will appreciate and people will, you know, but they don't want that. They're setting you up for a fail, basically, is my point. Whereas, you know, Farker will just sort of get asked a question and then just talk shit for 10 minutes, and it's like, yeah, get rid of him. Bielsa he could definitely talk more English than he let on. He always just went along with it and just like, you know, never said up BMG overshares. It's like like too much information in like a short. It's too concise. It's like a yes or no answer, and he'll just answer it, and it's mint. But unfortunately, the press are a set of dickheads, aren't they? So they don't give you the leeway that you deserve, really. What percentage watch you, but will never be tempted to comment? It's all about that leap of faith. I dare say a few haven't set up a YouTube account. I've no idea, Andy. I've no idea. Oliver Spurs spanked. Sometimes, Andy, I'll overshare this with you. I sometimes think I wonder who like has seen the channel on the off chance who like despises me, and then you know like, or my biggest fear, right, is so like a player that I've like backed forever and they just randomly, because you know they will use YouTube, won't they? So like Bamford, who I've backed forever, goes on YouTube once in like 7 months, and then for some reason my video pops up because it's Leeds related, and he clicks on me and it's a slight criticism of me and he thinks that guy's a dickhead and turns it off. I do worry about that. I actually do worry about that often, because I don't, you know, these boys that play for my club, our club, don't deserve no stick unless they're shirking it, unless they're throwing towel in. They'll get the full weight from me, but while we're playing so well, while we're top at league, not a single player in this squad deserves shit. BMG says most of our team would cope in the Prem as squad players, but we'd need 3 or 4 or 5 really good players to come in. I think we need 3 or 4. 3. Van Dijk is a scorer. Rothwell, good squad player, not worth 7 million. Not worth 7 million. Tanaka, yeah. Saka. I just called you Tanaka. Sakamoto Sensei. Do you not reckon he's worth 7 million? I reckon he's worth 7 million, me. I know, I'm gonna have to play it down. Don't be commenting saying that I've had a few beers, you know, you bastards. I know what you lot are like. Like, are you pissed? Is Jack pissed? We do need a Rothwell goal before the end of the season, Oliver. Certainly do. I wish I could do Aussie accent, to be fair. We spoke about Australia, didn't we, last week? Well, yeah, mate. Well, no, mate. BMG says, Oliver, the goal that takes us up, maybe, but I want Gilavogi to get it. Gilavogi was in my notes here, but we never get to him, so it'll have to be in shit vid tomorrow. Gilavogi's in my notes somewhere here. It said, my notes are, Gilavogi got his 40 seconds. Farker was talking about him being a leader and how important he is. Why are we even talking about this guy? I'm sure he's ace. I'm sure, but he's not going to be here next year. Never known someone who plays 35 to 50 seconds a game gets so much love. Can you imagine anybody speaking about Cooper like this? And that bloke actually played. That's my notes. He said Josh is one of his best signings. I've never heard out like it. They're my notes. I'm all in on Gilavogi. It's mint. But I don't... What are we talking about with this big dude? He's ace. I love him. Like, you know, mint. Like, wow. Like, he loves being here and that. But why do we get like such a hard on for players that like basically don't do all? And then when Rothwell gets offered for 7 million, people don't want him. It's like mental. Mental. 78 RPM says the way Farke conducts himself is a massive part of why the 49ers like him. They are press savvy and want that from their manager. I agree with that, absolutely, sir. JLUFC evening all, yes, brother. BMG says what percentage of viewers want to hit Angry Mad Gav? If Gilavogi scores were on the pitch, I'd love to get Bamford on, man. I really would, but he's never in a million months of Sundays would he come on this shite, would he? I can't believe the amount of no's I've got in this poll, guys. It's really hard. It really hurts the feelings. Really, you know, stings deep, man. I was only on about maybe popping on for 20 minutes or so just to say bye, but, you know, it's a brutal world out there, isn't it, I suppose. At least, you know, oh my God, no, I thought the years had won. The no's won. The go to bed's won. I think you boys just like hurting my feelings. Whether we go up or not, Rothwell would be a good science keeper at Ellen Road for the next 3 or 4 years. I don't know if he'd last 3 or 4, to be fair, getting to 34 years old, but 2-year contract, 32, staying Prem for 2 years, not necessarily need him at every moment. I think it's a decent signing. BMG says nothing wrong with being a dickhead. I've embraced it. It's the best thing you can be, brother. Righteous one will tell him you've had Adolf in there. It was decent, like you said earlier. You can't knock a man for his performance. That's all I'm saying. I didn't. Has he blocked you, Andy? Has he? At least I won't be exposed on there. Yeah, that's a fair comment. I agree, Beetle Bugs, and welcome. Everybody wants to know why, Andy. Alfred says Rothwell a steal at 7 mil. I honestly think he is. Where's 7 mil come from as well, guys? We're just going with the 7 mil thing. Sakamoto says if Tanaka cost 3 million, how can you justify 7 on Rothwell? 5 million, yes, and I think he's worth signing, but 7 mil seems steep. But like I say, it ain't my money. Well, the thing is though, 5 and 7, like we can't be too pedantic about Tanaka. Tanaka's better than Rothwell, you'd argue. So if Tanaka's 3, then Rothwell should be 500,000, shouldn't he? So it doesn't really work against players. Do you know what I mean? It don't work like that, unfortunately. I wish it did, you know. And then you'd end up with some right players, wouldn't you? If Tanaka were 3 million, for 10 million, for 15 million, you get Haaland. BMG's after Schmidt getting final winner. That's what I mean. He's on that. What is it? What's it called? He's on that Warnock bonus, isn't he? They're in it together. I'll let Andy answer that. Brutal BMG. Get up, Alfred. Love it. Yeah, he is buzzing just to be here, and he with no contract for him, mother. So it was just like, get in. Thank God for them injuries. Gareth says I'll be in bed before then. Looks like I'm not coming back on because at 29 votes, with 48% says yeah, 52% say no. Chris Baldwin must have brought all his cronies over. No way, Jay. Where you going, big lad? Get stuck in, boy. Take it. You take a hit on one. You take, that's what I mean. Yeah, even it out. It's like paid 5 mil for each. Perfect. BMG always brings the zingers. MVG. I know not of what you've done. I agree with that though, BMG. Yeah, he's not a £3 million player, is he? In fairness. Yes, Alfred, get that full kick wanker going on. Right, boys, I'm going to close this poll. Unfortunately, I've lost. So I would have jumped back on for 20 minutes. But I am going to have to bail out. We did 3 hours last week, so that's why I wanted to potentially jump back in and get it going on again. But unfortunately, I've been voted out of my own channel, which is outrageous. It's like being sacked on Championship Manager, innit? And you're just like, oh, I've been sacked. How's that happened? Like, but I am off on Just Joe's show, so get your sends over there. Joe's a proper decent lad. He's ace. I love him. So get your sends over there. Check it out. I'll upload a quick ship vid tomorrow for. I don't really do previews, though, but we will talk about Millwall a little bit for whatever it's worth, the rotation that's required. AO, I must agree with this, to be fair. AO voted no because a 20-minute live stream would turn into a 2-hour live stream, and I'm trying to save Jack from a stinging hangover in the morning. You're the dictator here, mate, says Righteous One. Chris Baldwin voted 50 times. Right, guys, I'm off for a piss. I'm off to go take some deep breaths outside, then I'm off on Joe's show. So take it easy, everybody. It's been emotional, certainly as Alfred. We timed that perfectly there. Good lad, 78 RPM. I appreciate every which one of you. Honestly, I do. I really, really fucking mean it. You're all mad. You're all mint. Mint, mad, mental. Take it easy, everybody. In a bizzle.